Bet.
The St. Joseph Symphony has been a longtime part of community life here in St. Joseph. In tonight's community conversation, our Charles Christian sits down with the managing director of the symphony, Lori McAllister. Charles.
All right, thanks very much, Morgan. It is a pleasure to be here with Lori McAllister. Lori, talk to us about the importance of the symphony to the St. Joseph community.
Well, the St. Joseph Symphony was started in 1959, started as an all-community orchestra, then converted to a professional orchestra in the 1980s, and has continued down that path. It's really become a cultural cornerstone for the community, and it really is a point of pride for a community of this size to be able to have a professional orchestra.
That's right. And what kind of drew you? I know you've mentioned you've been involved in arts and music pretty much your whole life. What drew you particularly to St. Joseph and this line of work that you talk about, the line of what you do for the symphony, and what drew you to this line of work, and what drew you to St. Joe?
Sure. Well, I have always loved music, and it's taken me to Wichita, Kansas. It's taken me to Nashville, Tennessee, back to my home state of Nebraska, and now to St. Joe, Missouri. Our youngest daughter started with Nestle Purina as a pet care specialist, which is really what put St. Joseph on our radar. And so when we were looking for a house, we looked a little bit in Lincoln, but we looked a whole lot more here. Okay. And so we've been here since September of 2018.
Oh, that's great. And what's your role? I mean, talk about the role of your director role and how that works with the symphony and with all the things the symphony is involved in.
Yes. Well, arts administration has really been my strong suit. I like to say I do what I do well behind the scenes so that the musically talented folks can do what they do best on stage. It really works well. And it's endlessly interesting. No 2 days are the same. When I was in Lincoln, I spent a lot of time working as program director for the Lincoln Arts Council, and so when we did make the move to St. Joseph, I was delighted to find that I could actually work full-time in the arts here as well. So when the position came open at the Symphony, I jumped on it and have been very pleased to be part of such an august organization with such a long history here in the community.
That's great. And you were part, I believe, of helping, you were a part of bringing in Dr. Christopher Keltz as the new conductor.
That's right.
Talk about that process. I know it was challenging during COVID. You had a lot of COVID challenges, in fact, from day one, it seems like.
Yes.
But talk about bringing Dr. Keltz in and what he's brought to the symphony.
Yes. Well, I think that doing a search for a new conductor is a challenge, no matter how you slice it. But we were so fortunate to have so many great candidates apply. We were able to narrow the field down to 3, and then using COVID protocols, we were able to do 3 audition shows so that the community would have a chance to meet and help us vote on the newest candidate. And of course we chose Chris Keltz from Springfield. It's been the first time that this symphony has had a commuting conductor, and that makes things kind of interesting and challenging as well. The kind of preparation that we used to spread out over 2 or 3 weeks is now compressed into his residency week, as we call it.
Wow.
So he comes in the Tuesday night before a Saturday night show, and we go.
Wow. And I know one of his goals has been to make the music even more accessible, whether people grew up liking classical music or knowing classical music or not. Dr. Keltz, as an educator, seems to really want to sort of bridge that gap. Talk about the importance of that and how you see him doing that.
That's right. Well, just as society, the community, as individuals, we evolve and change over time. The same is true with any organization, including the symphony. And I think that a lot of people, when they think of a symphony orchestra, their mind immediately goes to the traditional classical, of course. But when you say orchestral music or symphonic music, that really opens up a lot of possibilities. So yes, we do want to do community engagement, more outreach than we've done before, and to really hear from the community about what types of orchestral music might be of interest here. So that's exciting. We're hoping to grow and change that program as well.
And one of the things you're going to do in that regard, you're offering a free concert in June, right, this month. Talk about that really quickly, if you would.
That's right, Saturday the 25th at 3 o'clock at First Christian Church. We're going to do Baroque brass and bebop. So
wow.
Needless to say, it'll be pretty, it'll be variety. Light, accessible music, about an hour's worth, very family friendly, and it's free thanks to the Kalaki Trust. So what's not to like about that? Hoping everybody can come out on June 25th at 3.
Great. And for your season begins when?
September 24.
Wow.
And we're going to do Youth Concert Day, which Chris has redubbed Young at Art. And so that will be on Friday, September 30th. And again, thanks to the Southside Progressive Fund and the Kinney Trust, we are going to offer that field trip at no cost to the students and their chaperones who attend. So that will be at the Missouri Theater. First time in 2 years we've been able to do that event live.
Very good. Well, Lori McAllister, thank you so much. She's with St. Joe Symphony. If you have other questions for her, St. Joe Symphony office is a great place to look or to call or to look up online. Thank you for joining us for Community Conversation this week, and thank you. We'll have more news right after this.